Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Tenchi Muyo. Now, as you know, Tenchi Muyo, or as it's known as in Japan, Tenchi Muyo Yoko Okai, is meant to be a sort of OVA series. And what's actually interesting is, from basically 1992 in Japan all the way to 2020 had these OVA series. And I would say OVA series are usually like short episodes trying to build on something. And you know, deep down they are going to rush things or have to kind of build up a story. And I know Tenchi Muyo was written by Hitsori Okada, who was also known for basically writing the Tenchi Muyo series that ran for 12 volumes from 1994 to 2000 and was meant to be a kind of comedy, Harlem, kind of space opera-like series. And the premise of the film is meant to follow Tenchi, who, after unintentionally releasing a dangerous demon known as Ryoko, and finds out that a magical sword that once belonged to his ancestor has more connections with Ryoko and himself. And over the first season, we do kind of see how other characters are all connected in a way, where we kind of see how a princess of a sort of space royal family known as Aikika and her sister end up eventually ending up living with the family due to after a mishap that happened. We also see a sort of space officer known as Mitsushi end up joining as well. And last of all Washbu, who was pretty much the former director of the Space Academy, who once worked with Ryoko's sort of creator as well as her former students. And I think for the most part, I can kind of see where the first season is building up the story with how Tenchi's learning more connections with his roots. You can kind of tell at the same time, we kind of see how the characters that Tenchi meets unintentionally falls in love with him. And I think for the most part, I think Tenchi's character works because you can tell he's a bit of a screw-up, but I wouldn't say a massive one. Like, you can kind of tell he does try to learn to kind of use his sort of ancestor's sword, and we do kind of learn more truths about his grandfather and his connections with Tenchi's ancestor. And I also kind of think when you kind of got the villain for the first OVA series, known as Gakado, I think his character sort of works, but I think was just thrown in way too quickly. I think if the OV series just been about focusing a bit more on the characters, making the stories a bit more longer, maybe we would have had some more time with this. But I also kind of think when you got the 7th episode, the night before the carnival, I actually like the idea that you do have Ryoko as well as Aikika trying to get Tenchi's intentions. And you can kind of tell it's going to badly kind of blow up in their faces. And you can kind of tell this is a moment where it's going to go the whole love-struck kind of comedy-like story. And I think it definitely works. And I also think when you also do have Ryoko's sort of rabbit-like spaceship character, Ryo Oki, I think his character's not too bad. I think he's like that cute little animal sidekick, kind of like Eevee from Pokemon. And I think for the most part, I do think there probably was an intention on doing a proper good full series for season 1. I think it was just kind of clear that the creators were told, nah, you have to work on this OVA series. You only have to do 6 episodes. You have to work on these characters. And you have to do this story by the end of the day. But I think, well, yeah, season 1 has its weaker moments. I think for the most part, I think it's just kind of introducing you the characters, seeing them kind of be these eye candies for Tenchi's affections. And I think for the most part, I think if the episodes were a bit longer, maybe we would have had more time for this. And I know, yeah, with the seven episodes for the first season, they pretty much ran from September the 25th from 1992 all the way to March the 25th, 1993. I think there really was an intention to make the series a bit more longer. Maybe they had the budgeting, but were just told they didn't really had to do what they were told to do. But I think, well, yeah, the first season has its weak moments. I think it still holds up a little well. So I think it definitely deserves thumbs in the middle. It's not a bad introduction, but I think if the episodes were about 20 or 26, maybe they could have built up something a bit more. Something to give fans a bit more of a taste. But I still enjoy it. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.